Yo, what is going on, you drowsy looking diglets? I've got a interesting deck for you guys today. It is a Gengar Omastar lock deck. I guess we should kind of go a little bit over the list in this one. Let's take a look. 2 Omastar, 2 Gengar as the only Pokemon we can open with and our main attacker in the deck. And then the rest of the deck is a Turbo Engine to try and get out a turn 2 Omastar. We also have Crushing Hammer here to limit our opponent's energy. We got Custom Catchers if we want to Gust or just draw extra cards with them. Yeah, the point of the deck is to kind of turbo through the deck and lock our opponent out of being able to use items with the Fossil Bind from Omastar while using Poltergeist. If we go second, we're going to open up. We have to open up with Gengar, so we just need to find an energy, and then we just go AzulGG. And they can't play any cards, and then they go draw a pass back to us where we candy out Omastar, and then once again they're locked out items, and then we start poltergeisting. So this deck has been pretty fun. How competitive it is, I don't know, but it has been a ton of fun though. We got some peeking red cards in here as well. Shuffle our opponent's hand into their deck, you know, maybe give them some more trainer cards. So yeah, let's go ahead and get to some games, and I'll show you guys how this one works. Getting into the first game here. Obviously opening up with the Gengar, and like I said, we're going to be using the Horror House GX as our first thing we do. Playing against a Lost March deck. I feel like this is probably, well, if they can't ever find Skiplooms, I guess we kind of just win, right? So that's what it's going to come down to. Can they find enough Pokemon to actually put in the Lost Zone to knock out Gengars or potentially our Omastar? Yeah, that's kind of the question of this matchup. We'll see what they got. So far, they're taking quite a bit of time on their first turn. There we go. Pokecomp's coming out. There goes the Hoppip. Interesting to get rid of Hoppip. Well, I guess they're probably going to go for a Let Loose or an Oranguru. Probably need to draw some kind of cards if they're getting rid of a Hoppip with the communication. Yep, there's the Let Loose. I'm not too afraid of the Let Loose. We don't even have a draw supporter in our hand, so I kind of actually welcome the Let Loose here. Draw supporter would be super nice to see. Netball, gonna get a Hoppip back, so I guess they must have only had Hoppips in the hand. Hoppips are definitely what you want on your bench in the early game, so it must have been just a Hoppip for a Pokemon for the communication options. We are gonna get Let Loose here. Like I said, it doesn't really matter to me. There's a Trumbeak, the Mountain Pass. That would be a shame if it hit a supporter. We don't play many supporters. Looks like it's a whiff. And there's the Let Loose, going all 6 of these cards going back into our deck. And gonna be back on the hunt for a Omanite, whatever you say, or unidentified fossil, not Omanite. Eventually it becomes an Omastar. Yeah, back on the hunt for a unidentified fossil as well as a energy. Got to make sure we use the Horror House GX so our opponent can't do anything on their next turn. That's the strength of the deck. Your opponent always gets one turn, only one turn of items, even if they go first and we don't get out. We won't have the Omastar on our first turn. Horror House, GX attack, next turn, candy to Omastar. No more items for our opponent. We got the Instruct for 1. Anything else? They are taking their time on this one. Alright, gonna go with a Nuzly Gathering. Getting a Malga. They have a Lost Blender or Communication. Nope, just gonna be a pass. All right, works for me. There's an energy top deck. That's great. Cynthia for 6 here, looking for a small guy. There's a heads. So now we can grab this, which will then grab us the unidentified fossil. And then we have Ultra Ball, get rid of a Psychic plus our top deck, and then Rare Candy into the Omastar on that turn 2. So we're all set up. We're all ready to go. And ready to start rolling through some of these Lost Marchers. Oh, gotta put it up here. That's right. Identified fossil comes down. And Horror House GX. No more items. That's it. No more. Not this turn, anyways. And then from here, just gonna start taking knockouts. They only have the 2 Hoppip in play, so that's actually really good for us to prevent our opponent from potentially taking knockouts on their next turn. So on our turn, we'll probably Ultra Ball away. Psychic plus top deck, attach active candy Omastar, counter or custom catcher, draw 3. If our top deck is a supporter, we'll probably Ultra Ball away Psychic plus custom catcher. Just kind of depends on what our top deck is. Ideally, it's something like a Lily or a Cynthia, and then we can get rid of the custom catcher and draw some more cards. But at least we'll get the custom catcher to draw 3. At the very least, we'll get the custom catcher to draw 3. So it's a stadium, so that will be going. It kind of sucks to get rid of the stadiums. The stadiums are super good to have around to make sure we can retreat our Omastar later on. So we will grab the Omastar. Rare candy out the Omastar. Attach, and then custom catcher, draw 3. 1, 2, 3. Nothing too great. We can energy lotto, fail, and then custom catcher, draw 2. There we go. Custom catcher, draw 2. And then there we go. Lily for 4. 3, 4. Have some more options for next turn. And there we go. Poltergeist. Take a look at their hand. We'll see what's up. 4 items. 4 items. And nothing else. And this is what we're looking to do. This is how the deck works. Completely locked our opponent out of the game in this one so far. That could have a decent top deck. But we're going to be sitting here drawing prizes for a couple turns, I think, before they get anything rolling. Hopefully. Awesome Rush does not play a ton of draw supporters. And they've already used one of their options for an ability support Pokemon in the Marshadow. So I think we might have this one pretty much wrapped up here. Not being able to use Lost Blender or Pokemon search cards to find Hoppips and Skiplooms is going to make it very hard for them to ever hit numbers at all to do any kind of relevant damage to the 240 HP of the Gengar Mimikyu-GX. So I think we have this one. I think we have this one pretty much locked up. And this is how a lot of the games go when you do win as I'm going to use this thin out the deck with this. When you do win games as Gengar Mimikyu, this is how a lot of your games go. There's not too much play on your opponent's side. You set up the lock, and then you kind of just roll your opponent from there. They do have a Lily, but they have too many cards in their hand to activate it, unless they bench down a bunch of Pokemon, potentially, it looks like maybe. But if they do that, then they are super far away from ever being able to get access to item cards again. This card does not just completely lock your opponent out of the game on items. They can still play items, but they have to have equal or less Pokemon in play than us, and we only have one, and that's how the deck works. We try to sit with one Omastar, one Gengar. If they pressure our first Gengar, we go ahead and try and set up another one. Yeah, they're gonna get access to items on this turn. I don't think they'll be able to one-shot the Gengar, so I don't really want to dig for another one right now. I don't think they'll be able to one-shot the Gengar. This guy is weak to grass, so it's possible they would go Guzma, knock out our Omastar, so I kind of actually want to bench this turn. I don't think the Gengar would get knocked out, but potentially the Omastar would, so I want to be able to reestablish Omastar. They get access to items no matter what, so I don't see a real big problem with benching the other unidentified fossil. And then Poltergeist for the knockout. Take a look at the hand one more time. Yeah, they got a whole bunch of items they're going to get access to. That's fine with me benching this. They'll be able to use those items. They will get to work with one more bench spot because of me benching the unidentified fossil. So but I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that just to prevent the risk of us losing our only Omastar, which is definitely possible for them to knock out. They could like communication, get into the jump bluff, and then that's already enough damage to knock out an Omastar. And next turn we can just discard this unidentified fossil, bench another Gengar, attach to that Gengar, and then set up a second Gengar, which we probably will have to use in this one at some point. Because they will be hitting us pretty hard here, I would assume. They got double Lost Blender in hand, so I don't think we're going to get one shot. I think that'd be a little bit ridiculous if they one-shot us, but I think we will be getting hit pretty hard here by the jump bluff. And there's the Floral Path to the Skies. And I mean, ideally for them, they're going to try and limit their bench down to just like 2 Pokemon. So that way, if I go to bench another Gengar, then they can keep using items. And that's where the Gengar Omastar deck gets a little tricky, is like when your opponent finally gets to a point where they can play with like no bench and still be hitting you reasonably well. That's where it gets a little sketchy. Right now they're only hitting for 80. It's going to probably go up to 120 here. Yep, 2 Amongols hit the discard pile. And potentially they could just sit here and chain attackers. Like I said, I don't think this deck is super competitive. It is fun though to try and lock your opponent out with it. It is kind of like you win the game within like the first 4 to 5 turns, and if it goes anywhere past that, your opponent's probably in a good enough spot to take the game from there. So they're doing a lot of damage now. They're doing 140. You need to make up 100 more damage with only 1 Trumbeak left. I don't think it's going to happen. Still have a lot of Lost Blenders though, so it's possible, I guess. Maybe it's not even technically possible. Lost Blender, get rid of 2 Pokemon. Draw Pokemon, Lost Blender, get rid of 2 Pokemon. Draw Pokemon and shock into a Pokemon, Lost Blender, get rid of 2 Pokemon. Okay, so I guess it would be technically possible, but I doubt it's going to happen. Yeah, I don't see it happening. All right, they mentioned extra Pokemon there. So once again, they no longer have access to items. The Sky Pillar, not afraid of that at all. But now if we do bench another Gengar and then knock out the active, they will have access to items again. So I'm debating, like, well, I don't think we can afford to not bench another Gengar. We have to probably bench another Gengar here. Yeah, I think we do. We might not even be able to get this knockout. We do have the Peking Red card. So let's start with that and go ahead and have a look at what's going on in their hand. They have 2 items and a Jump Fluff. I don't know why they didn't just lost one of those 2 away. I'm gonna go done. Would you like your opponent to shuffle their cards into their hand and then draw that many cards? No. And then we're just gonna go ahead and discard this. And then Poltergeist for the knockout. They have 1 more bench Pokemon than us. So they won't be able to use items again. So their hand is locked up. They're preying on a top deck here. If they send up Natu in top deck DC, we do get punished. Oh well. Hopefully not. Hopefully there's no DC top deck here. I guess a supporter top deck into a DC is just as bad. It's a Skiploom. That's fine with me. That does not do anything for them to win the game. And now we look to set up our second Gengar, knock out this Natu, and then knock out the following Skiploom. Maybe even look to double custom catcher the Skiploom and knock this out, because the Natu is easier for us to knock out. So we're just going to start by drawing a whole ton of cards. We're going to start with Ultra Ball away. These 2. Gonna grab the Omastar. Ultra Ball away. Omastar and Rare Candy. Grab the Gengar to set up the second Gengar. I really do want to see an energy this turn, so I'm not going to play the Energy Lotto yet. Let's start with a Judge Whistle for 1. Alright, another Judge Whistle for 1. A third Judge Whistle for 1. Definitely want to save the Peking Red card. Stadium comes out. We'll start with the Acro Bike then. Grab the Lily for sure. Go Acro Bike again. Grab the Energy Lotto. Definitely want to hit, like I said, definitely want to hit an energy this turn. Gengar's going to come down. This is going to go to bench Gengar. This is going to come into play. And then we're going to start with Energy Lotto. Boom, get a Psychic. Psychic goes to Gengar. Energy Lotto again. I kind of want to fail this. I'm going to fail it here because I want access to that second custom catcher potentially to knock out the Jump Fluff. There we go. Double custom catcher. It's way easier, like I said, way easier to knock out the Natu than a Jump Fluff potentially. So I don't want to get cheesed by that. See what's left in the deck. We still have our Switch. We have our Stadium in play. We still have a couple Psychics, so we can still move our Omastar. I don't see a reason to play anything else down. And then Poltergeist for the knockout. Maybe I should have taken that Psychic Energy. Now that I'm rethinking it a little bit, because we do need a Psychic Energy to take a knockout here. Maybe that's, yeah, it's kind of all we needed. All right, we got a Cynthia, so we should be drawing into it just fine here. They bring up their Natu, and I think we have this one pretty much locked up. Yeah, they can't. It's hard for them to keep their hand small here because when they knock out the Gengar Mimikyu, they will draw 3 prize cards, so they can't keep their hand size really under 3. And if they don't have at least 1 trainer in their hand, we can Peking Red card and force them to. All they need is 1 trainer, the Natu with only the 40 HP. So if for some reason they draw 3 prizes and none of them are trainer cards, we can force them into a new hand of 3 with the Peking Red card. Yeah, so I don't see us losing this here, especially with the Cynthia. I think I got a little greedy on that second Energy Lotto and not taking the energy when the energy is really all I need to close out this game. The double custom catcher was nice, but definitely not necessary for sure. I do expect to be not fully knocked out here, though. I don't think this Gengar Mimikyu is gonna live through this next turn, or I'd be very surprised if it did. Let's see what's our opponent played. Yeah, they still have 4 DCE, only used 1 grass energy, but they have no jump left to actually use off the grass energy, so that doesn't really matter. It's all about the DCE here, and they don't have too much of a deck left. Like I said, I expect them to hit the DCE here, but I don't think it's going to be enough to prevent me from winning the game. We will see, though. Whiff on the Trumbeak. Let's see. Yeah, more than enough damage. There's the DCE, but they have to have, like I said, 0 trainer cards in their hand. And if somehow they have a 7-card hand with 0 trainer cards. We have the Peking red card, and they will almost for sure see a trainer card off of that. All right, send up the Gengar Mimikyu. It's also possible with energy here. Well, that might be not possible. I don't know what's actually left in the deck. It's actually very possible. It's impossible for us to whip energy here. Only 1 psychic energy left. How many did we go through over here? 3, 4, 5. Our 6th energy is prize. All right, Judge Whistle. Draw a card. It's a switch. We can't. Well, we can utilize that actually. We can retreat and then switch. I believe this gets rid of 2. Yeah, just wanted to make sure. Retreat. Switch back to the Gengar Mimikyu. Peking red card. 1, 2. Done. No. And then Cynthia for 6. We have 2 Acrobikes, 1 energy. There's the energy and a bunch of other ways to draw cards. I don't know if it was possible for us to whiff there, and we didn't. And we go ahead and take this first game with what, 300, 400 damage to the Natsu here to close this one out. 300 damage. Yeah. So that's how the deck works. Let's go ahead and see if we can't do it again. And starting here in another game. We did mulligan a little bit. But it's not always a bad thing. More mulligans, more trainer cards. Our hand is, I mean, we got some draw behind it. It's not the greatest hand. Viridian Force, so it looks like we're probably playing against a Malamar deck. Yep, there's the Ultraman himself, the Necrozma. So yeah, our hand is, well, I mean, it's not like great. It would be great if we had like a Lily, but we have plenty of time to find Lily and do that. Interesting that he didn't Viridian Force away that Psychic and then get like a medal for the Ultra Necrozma. But I'm not going to complain. Yeah, we are definitely in a fine spot right here. Unless they get like, if they knock us out next turn, or not next turn, or the turn after. I mean, as long as we're able to get the item lock online, which I think we will be able to do with this hand pretty easily. And we have the Psychic Energy for the Horror House GX. So it's like 2 turns away from them actually being able to really do anything. There's their Lily for 5. So not this turn, but the turn after, if they get a knockout, we might be in trouble. But if not, I think we're looking good to be able to definitely take this one. They've already benched down 3 Pokemon, so that's a good start. There's a Metal Energy for them, so we might hold on to this Crushing Hammer. Well, I guess I can't play it down next turn, so I still might want to remove that Psychic Energy, I guess. Yeah, I still might want to remove that Psychic Energy. One of the advantages of this deck actually is that when you open Gengar, people kind of just assume you're playing a Malamar deck, which is nice. It's either a Malamar deck, because Gengar is like decent at Malamar, or your deck just sucks. One of the two. But in our case, our deck is decent. I don't want to say it's great, because it's like, you know, I don't think the deck is terrible. But as far as like a super serious competitive deck, I don't think Gengar Omastar is up there. But I could be proven wrong with some more testing with the deck. From what I played so far, you kind of have to just kind of cheese your opponents out, and then hope for the best from there. Yeah, you don't have a whole ton of a whole lot of stuff that you can actually do with the deck. You kind of have to cheese your opponents a little bit, which I'm fine with. I don't mind it. Looking at our current hand, we'll probably start off with Judge Whistle, followed by Acrobike. And then if we have to order pad for another Acrobike to dig for more potential draw, we will. We'll see what our top deck is. Not good. We could Viridian Force to get an energy out of our deck. We have like a very like limited amount of energy, so I don't really want to do that. Kind of against that. Okay, there's the Billy. Acrobike. Definitely want the red candy. I'm going to attempt to order pad to get a fossil excavation map. Oh, alright, so we have the combo already set up. We're going to take the map because that finds us the unidentified fossil, which takes 2 cards out of our deck as opposed to 1. We're also going to check our deck on this search. 5 Psychic in here. We could discard a Psychic for a Psychic, I guess. I wouldn't hate doing that. We definitely want to keep the Ultra Ball to find the Omastar on the next turn. Yeah, we can get away with Psychic for Psychic because we have access to all 6 Psychics, so it'll be 2 Psychic to 2 different Gengars, and then a Psychic for potential retreat cost with our Stadium card. Throw out Crushing Hammer. This guy comes down. This goes to active, and then we Lily for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we have the Viridian Force in play actually, which is super nice for us to get another energy for next turn. All right, so this is looking great. This is actually a great start. Horror House GX. We'll probably hit him with one of the Pekins, well, the Pekin in hand next turn. I don't want our opponent to be sitting on too many Malamar, so we definitely want to check. That's the only thing we're looking for when we're going to go in with this Pekin red card is how many Malamars do they have in their hand. We're going to get out the Omastar, so we're not scared. Well, I guess I could have prized both Omastar. I guess we have to check for the Omastar. If we prize both Omastar, that's game. We're just gonna concede. If we didn't, then we're good to go. Right, there's a heads. I definitely want to hold on to Crushing Hammers, I feel like, in this matchup as well. So we can start with a Viridian Forest. Let me get rid of a rare candy here. Alright, got an Omastar. Perfect. I feel like the Crushing Hammers could be good. I'm actually going to go ahead and get out... Oh, I can't get out another Gengar. We can get rid of Lily plus... No, we have to keep one of the rare candies. Oof. Get rid of Lily plus Acrobike, I guess, because I kind of want to keep the Crushings here. I feel like they could be good if they struggle to get out the Malamars, which is definitely possible. So we'll go ahead and use the Peking red card and see what's up. One Malamar. Is that one Malamar's too many? They don't have a lot of draw support from the hand, though. They can't even use Erica's. They can Lily for, like, a card. So I think we're going to let them keep it. No. Yeah, I think we're going to let them keep that hand. I would almost like to keep my hand if I could with the Crushing Hammers. Because that's all I can really do is go, like, 1 second recharge plus attach a metal. So I guess I could have held that hand, maybe, actually. Now the more that I'm thinking about it, I probably should have held that hand. Alright, there's the Poltergeist. That is the knockout. Bada bing. 1, 2, let's just confirm 4, 5. And 3 supporters. Erica's can draw them 0 cards. They can use Guzma, or they could use the other one. I should have also checked, probably checked for our switch. That's an important card to check for. We play the 1 switch card to help us move around. Our main way that we move the Omastar around is through our stadium plus the Psychic. I feel like that's the main way that we end up usually moving the Omastar around should it get Guzman up. He does have access to a Guzman hand, so I wouldn't be surprised to see the Guzman come down here. I would even, like, I think the best play for him would be to, like, retreat his Lele. Guzma send the Lele back up. Trap the Omastar in the active, and then see what happens from there. But yeah, that looks like the best play to me from our opponent right here. But their hand is pretty locked up. They can't play Lily. They can't play Erica. Guzma's their only option, but they use Guzma now. If I do get my Omastar out of my active, kind of sucks for them. So, I mean, we'll see what they've got, what they plan to go ahead and hit us with. I'm definitely fine if they go for the Guzma play. I hoping the switch is in there, but if not, I did see at least one of the stadiums in the deck. So we have a fair shot of being able to move the Omastar for sure, at the very least. And this is what happens when you don't check your prizes. You don't know for sure what you have access to. So don't do as I do, do as I say. Remember to check your prize cards. It's going to be retreat to the NK. Okay. So a double custom catcher knockout on the Ultra Necrozma is definitely possible this turn. That would be pretty good. Let's see if they manage to get the Lily for 1. Yeah, because the Viridian Forest plus fail. Okay. Yeah, custom catchers would be pretty good here. So we're going to go ahead and dig for those. Whistle again. We'll try one of these. That's a heads. Do we just commit to the custom catchers? I almost want to. Custom catchering up to this guy would be... Custom catchering that guy up would be pretty good. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and commit to the custom catchers here. Ooh, tails. No good. I definitely want to set up another Gengar. Just in case we get knocked out next turn. It's definitely possible. So we definitely want the response of another Gengar. So I think it's going to be Energy Lotto Crushing Hammer, because Crushing Hammer doesn't feel that great right here, but it actually is pretty good. Could get rid of Lotto plus Psychic, but then we have, like, no Psychics left. Could have gotten rid of Lotto plus Order Pad, but I wanted to check for the double Custom Catcher, because Custom Catchers would have been great there. We could still get off the Custom Catcher play. Let's get a little risky on the energy line here. We have 1 energy left. We do not have our switch, so that's where it's going to get a little interesting. We'll see how this goes from here. Maybe playing it a little bit too close here. There's a Tails on the Crushing. Should have just discarded it. Cynthia. I'm just kidding on that. There we go. Play this. Oh, nothing to grab. That's fine. This guy. Nothing to grab. That's fine. Viridian Forest. Gonna get rid of the Gengar. Grab that second Psychic. Or that last Psychic, I should say. And then we got the Acrobike. I don't think Acrobike could find us anything. Oh, it could find us Crushing Hammer, actually. So we'll go ahead and Acrobike. Finds us the Peking. Definitely take the Peking here, because we have a Lily in hand for next turn. Do we want to hit him with the Peking? I don't mind taking a look. Let's see what we got here. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a Psychic. I think I want to leave this hand locked up once again, though. It's not a great hand. They will be able to knock us out. But then they'll have 3 prizes plus at least 3 trainer cards in hand, so we have a good chance of knocking out the Ultra Necrozma for sure. No. Just want to leave that hand chilling and Poltergeist for the knockout. Hoping for the switch card. I think that's the only thing we really want to pull out of the prizes here is the switch. Just to kind of make sure we can move our Omastar. Energy Lotto, not great, really doesn't do anything. That's fine. And not that big of a deal. So they could go with the Guzma knockout on the Omastar. That would be okay. But then we knock out the Ultra Necrozma and then just win the game on a double custom catcher on the Lele most likely. So I expect our active to be knocked out here, and then they have to drop pretty well to set up the knockout on the next Gengar. I doubt they will be able to pull. I doubt they'll be able to pull that off. Yeah, almost start doing work here as far as locking our opponent down. There's the Viridian Forest. They'll fail that, and then they'll be able to Erika's here, I believe, for 3. Yep, there's the Erika's for 3. Shouldn't be able to see a whole ton of big plays off of that, but it's definitely possible they find something like Malamar plus second Ultra Necrozma, which would be kind of scary. I definitely want to find a stadium next turn, hopefully, to kind of shut down the potential use of the Viridian Forest. There's the Photon Geyser. Boom, we're knocked out. Like I said, 3 prizes plus 6 card hand. There should be 4. I think there might even guaranteed be 4. No, they could possibly. I think they had what, 4 before? I don't know. I think it's possible that they don't have the 4 trainers that we need them to have here. So we're just kind of hoping they do. Okay, our deck. Oh no, that wasn't just our whole deck. I thought I was like, damn, that's our whole deck. We got like nothing left. We do pretty much have nothing left though. Attach active, and then we hit him with the Lily for 5. Okay, there's that altar that I was looking for. Get rid of the other card. Could Ultra Ball away. Nah, we're just chilling, I think. Crushing Hammer's not great, but I think we hold it. There we go. Knockout. What do they have for options? To basic energy from your hand to one of your dragon Pokemon. I don't think they have an out here. I think we have this one locked up. They could Guzma or Omastar actually, so we need to pull our switch here off the prizes. That's not the switch. Okay, we're actually in trouble here. If they Guzma up our Omastar for the turn, we actually don't have a way to move it. And then we would actually end up losing this game. So I was maybe a little bit greedy with a couple of our psychic energies there. We can be definitely punished this turn as our switch is in our prize cards. So I'm hoping they don't do the Guzma, but it did look like the best option in their hand. So we'll see. Maybe they'll just assume we have a way out of it. So then they'll Guzma it up and then not knock it out. Or I mean, not Guzma it up. Because they'll assume we have a way to get out of the Omastar. Yeah, that's what I would think if I was on their side. But if it is literally the only play, there's kind of no reason not to Guzma. We'll see what they go with here. They got the Stellar Wish going. Well, Stellar Wish cooking out. Because if you looked at my discard, probably be like, okay, we're down absolutely no switch cards. They've got another Guzma though, so I feel like they are gonna Guzma up our Omastar, and then it's gonna be stuck. And we will actually just deck out if they don't KO it, so we have to hope that they KO it. Here comes Distortion Door, Giratina. If they do KO it though, we're fine. And then can double custom catcher up the Lele and win the game on the following turn. Here we go with that attach, a Psychic Recharge. And then if they have another Malamar, and the Guzma, we know they have the Guzma. There's the Guzma on the Omastar. They knock it out, we can double custom catcher, knock out the Lele on the following turn. Draw for turn. Cynthia pass. Okay, still in it, just a little risky here. We also have access to 2 Cynthias, so we can reshuffle our deck twice. They're committing the energy to the active though, so I think they're probably gonna knock us out. And then we have the custom catchers to knock out the Lele. I'm sure they know, yeah, as they start to Shadow Impact. If I had a Guzma, I would have Guzma'd, but I don't think they would expect the custom catchers come in, so this will probably throw them off a little bit. I haven't played one at all this game, and we will be taking this one in the end here on this Lele for the last 2 prize cards. All right, and that's it for Gengar, Omastar. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, this deck is not the most competitive, but I think it's pretty fun. I enjoy playing it from time to time. There's that switch in our choice band. I enjoy playing it from time to time. It is just kind of a fun deck to mess around with. If you're looking to infuriate your opponents and have some fun, definitely check the deck out. Have some fun yourself. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to give the video a like. If you're enjoying the content I've been putting out, be sure to subscribe. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Links to my Twitch live stream as well as my social medias in the description below. Thanks for watching. Have a good day and peace.